99 Hasus. 99 Hasus.
Welcome to the 99 Hustles podcast. Today we are joined with another exceptional businesswoman by the name of TC Atkinson. TC, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm super excited, actually. I'm very, very excited.
Well, we're excited to speak with you today. TC in 2014 started a holistic company, and she started with just a $50 investment and grew it all the way into a $1 million in sales operation. Today, she runs tcatkinson.com, where she teaches aspiring entrepreneurs the ins and outs of e-commerce and social media marketing. TC, I know I gave a little bit of information on what it is you do in your branded website, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is exactly that you do?
I sure can. Okay, so when it comes to my holistic company that you mentioned before, our main focus is not the person that has been in holistic health for decades and they're the vegan, the raw food. Like, we mainly focus on helping those people that know that they want to live a healthy lifestyle, but they're not really sure how to start. So we offer natural hygiene products and herbal detoxes in addition to our whole foods, right? Through our embracepangea.com website. So we help you to transition, right? From using those chemical products that you normally use from, let's say, your corner stores or your grocery stores, but we give you a natural alternative. And we also help you to maintain that over a long time. So we have products that are intergenerational, products that literally mom, dad, child, grandparent, that they use and they love. And it's such an amazing journey just to hear everyone's story, right? I remember back in 2015, I literally only had one person. Wow. Someone named Brittany. Shout out to Brittany for investing in.
Shout out Brittany.
Right. She was the only person in the month of July who invested in our herbal detoxes. And she paid like $33. Okay. And now, like, we serve thousands and thousands of people all around the globe every single month now. Wow. So it's been a great journey. Right. And then also another thing is just pivoting, because people think that, oh, Embrace Pangea has always been a herbal company. We've always been a holistic and a wellness company. But when we first started, we started doing that from a apparel perspective, right? Creating dresses and skirts for women for holistic purposes. So that's how we started. Then a year later in 2015 is when we pivoted into exclusively doing herbs and natural hygiene products. And that's been the journey since. That's what we do at Embrace Pangea. We help you to remove toxins from your life by incorporating our natural hygiene products and herbal detoxes.
That's an interesting point. You talked about pivoting from, what initially was the product. So what was it initially the mission, and what was the goal of what you were of starting this company?
My main thing was I wanted to start a company that was, one, holistic minded. When I say holistic minded, what am I talking about? I'm specifically talking about being aware that everything has an impact on your wellness, your overall, state of happiness, right? And where I decided to come from with that angle was with apparel. So I wanted to go back to the Afrocentric history, right? As Black people, so our clothes, right? The designs, the fabrics were African print, right? Ankara prints. However, the fashion and the style of it was targeted to the female demographic, the women, so that we could not wear pants and jeans all the time because that would cut off circulation and airflow to our intimate areas. So that's why we offered skirts and we offered dresses, and we had that other cultural element. Yeah. So when I say holistic, that's what I'm talking about. Different components when it comes to life and adding to your overall state of wellness.
So TC, I mean, it's a very intricate operation, how you've explained it. Did you have like a background in business or a background in finance? Like, where did you learn these skills to like be this large of a businesswoman?
Okay, it all started one day in fourth grade. I kid you not. No, I kid
Lemonade
you
stand?
not. No. It all started one day. I was in 4th grade,
Okay.
and my mom. Okay, so I come out of the Jamaican culture. All right, so I'm a first generation American, but I come out of the Jamaican culture.
Okay.
And my mom, before she immigrated from Jamaica to here, she was an accountant.
Okay.
Okay, she was an accountant in
You
Jamaica.
get it from your mama.
Basically, long story short, okay, long story short. So she was an accountant in Jamaica, and then she transferred or changed careers because she couldn't elevate herself in the job position as an accountant. Because the way it was at that time is you only move up in rank when someone is no longer living, because everyone just stayed in their position.
Stays there forever. Yeah.
Right. And so
Yeah.
she didn't really see a future for herself and my brother at the time. So she changed careers, became a nurse, and then she came to the United States.
Okay.
So I say that to say she taught me how to break down a honey bun box in 4th grade. She taught me how to do cash flow. She taught me what was net, what was gross, what was profit, how to make your flip, right? And she taught me about how to corner a market, how to just see what your customers wanted, get feedback from your customers, how to improve on your product. So I started with that, right? And one thing, because you did explain that this was a mindset show, right? It's very big on mindset. So the greatest mindset shift that I have in my life that my mom taught me in 4th grade when we were at the kitchen table and she was teaching me how to break down the honey bun box, she taught me how to make your flip. What does that mean?
I like that.
How to take a small investment, right? Sell it at a profit, reinvest your earnings, and continue making your flip. So I went to school. I started with honey buns. I expanded into chips, and I did snacks. And it got so, well, I wouldn't say it got so bad. I would think it got so great. But in the school's point of view, they're like, oh no. So one day in aftercare, seriously, one day in aftercare, they came and they spoke to me and they had me shut down my operations because they were losing money on their school vending machines.
Yeah.
So that's where it all began.
You was hurting them. That's crazy.
That's where it all began.
Yeah,
So TC, Nick and I went to school together, right? We went to high school together. And there was a lot of like lunchroom hustlers in the school, like selling Gatorades. Because like our school was actually weird. Our vending machines weren't available until after school, I guess, because they didn't want kids like, I don't know what it was. So that just opened up the market for a bunch of kids selling snacks.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. And then they came through and shut everything down.
Yeah.
See, so I'm not alone. So your experience was in high school and mine was in elementary school. So when you asked me the question of, well, what inspired me, what got me started, it was literally my mother, the ex-accountant turned nurse, and she's been a nurse for over 35 years now at this point. And she taught me how to break down a honey bun box, but it was the economics. It was the financial component. So it doesn't matter what the product is. It's still the same mechanics. It's still the same net, gross, profit. Who are you marketing to? What are you saying? What is your angle? It matters not what your product is, physical, digital, service. It matters not, right? And even my mom now, she's always been an entrepreneur, right? So she's went into real estate. She's done vending machines herself. And she's even done, not real estate, but travel, right?
Yeah.
But now, since 2018, she has her own online e-commerce store, and she sells vegan handmade products. So in an age where we're going through COVID and people are losing their jobs, and even to the point where at one time, our hospitals here, we weren't seeing a lot of COVID cases. Yes, there was a lot of COVID cases around the nation on average, but
and for the audience, if you could just let us know where you're at, your location.
Oh, I'm in sunny South Florida. I'm in Hollywood, Florida. That's where I'm located, Hollywood, Florida. And so with that, a lot of people don't realize this, but the hospitals make money. And I say this all the time, there's a financial component to every aspect of life. And when the hospitals weren't making money because of the COVID situation here, right? their numbers, their census, right? They didn't have enough quote unquote customers, aka patients coming in. Then my mom had to take a day off from work. So instead of her working 5 days, she got cut and she was down to 4 days. So in that unstable environment, my mother doesn't really have to worry about what's going to happen with her home or anything like that, because she has the security of her online business. And that's been one of the important takeaways for me, just the importance of having an online business, of having something that runs 24/7, 365, and is always there, right? So that's why for me, I cannot be in support of a solopreneur or in support of a side hustler, because I was built to build businesses. My mom taught me this in 4th grade.
What?
So no, seriously. So for me, I'm just like, no, your business needs to run without you. I remember one day I came back from traveling, and this is pre-COVID. I always have to preface this. Pre-COVID, I was sick for 12 days.
Wow.
Like I was sick for 12 days. Like I could not leave my room. Like for 3 of those days, I was in my room. And I finally decided I'm going outside to get some sun so I can try to get better, because this is not okay. But throughout that whole time, I did not touch my businesses, and orders were still coming in.
We were making money.
Customer service tickets were still getting solved. Products were still getting shipped out. Reorders for supplies and materials were still getting done. Why? Because there was infrastructure. And so yes.
So yeah, I guess that's would be my next question then, is like, so how did you get introduced into this world? So like your website, your business, are you using e-commerce platform like BigCommerce or Shopify?
Of course.
You're using Shopify? So how did you make what introduced you to that world of online business, to the world of e-commerce? Let's
see. Well, it all started with coupons. Clipping coupons.
I was gonna say, if you say one day in 5th grade, we're gonna have to have
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. One day in 5th grade. So we went to 4th grade. Now we're graduating to 5th grade. No. But seriously though, one day. Now you got me caught up. One day in 5th grade.
Yeah, right.
That should be the name of the book. One day in 4th grade. No, but seriously though, I got introduced to it because of coupons. If my memory serves me correctly, because of coupons. At that time, I wanted to find a way to make some money online, right? And just make some money in general. And so I think I was either browsing on YouTube, right? Or the endless rabbit hole that is YouTube.
Same Yep.
And I came across these people that were like doing coupons and all these things. And I don't know about anyone else that may be listening to this, but pre the coupon craze, the only thing I knew about coupons was, they came into the mail and you cut 1 or 2 out and you go to the store, but it wasn't like a big deal. But when I saw extreme couponing, I almost lost my mind. I was like, what? You're telling me you bought $5,000 worth of household products for $3? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
That stuff is crazy. I've seen stores have to pay people back for shopping.
Exactly. So I got into that. And my favorite store at the time was Walgreens. I love the good Walgreens deal, and I love the good Publix deal. And what I would do is, like, traditional, go couponing. And this ties back into the online world. Why? Because in order to get the deals, I wasn't sitting at home figuring out the deals. I went on people's websites. They already gave you the deals, right? And you just needed to get the coupons, go to the store and do the deals. And then I got into following people on social media and seeing that they were reselling coupons. They started reselling their stockpile of products. And that's what really got me into the world of, you can make money doing things like this. So then I learned about making books on Kindle. So if you look me up, like one person, they saw my ad on Facebook, they looked me up and then they commented in the section, are you the person that has a Kindle book that says such and such? And I'm just like, I still have that online? Yes, it's me. Yeah, so
We might have to talk about that.
2012.
TC is crushing it in the Facebook ads game. You know, she's everywhere. Before the podcast, I reached out to her. Then after that, like I saw her every day again after that in the ads. Like her ads are
See?
running right. You got them on point. You got them on point.
Thank you.
Now-
So I went from coupons to
Okay.
Kindle books. Then from Kindle books, I went into retail arbitrage, which was, I go to Goodwill, buy clothes, and then resell them on eBay. That didn't really work out for me. And then I decided to just really get serious about producing, right? Like producing my own products. And so that's how I got into it. That was like my little segue. So it all started with clipping coupons.
Yeah. Were you working a full-time job at this time, or were you completely on your grind building your business?
No, I've always been in academia. I've always been on the track to be in academia. And even now, I'm in a PhD program for tropical biology.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah. So at the
Congratulations.
time, thank you.
That's amazing.
So
Do you have
at
more
the
time in your
time-
day than the rest of us, or what?
Yeah, that's amazing.
No,
Yeah, it's 36 hours a day.
I wish,
Yeah,
but that's why I'm so big on team. I'm so big on a real business because when you have the infrastructure, you can do other things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, but at the time I was at Florida A&M University getting 2 bachelors, so one in chemistry and one in psychology.
Okay.
And that's where I was really honing my skills of e-commerce and trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what's going to work for me. Because the truth is, it all works.
Yeah.
It all works. It all works. But what is going to work for you, your lifestyle, and your temperament, and what you desire? That's it, really.
Speaking of lifestyle, were you already like a practicing? I don't know what the proper term is
like
for.
Holistic.
Like like in terms of just like what the way you eat and the way you the clothes you wear. Were these things that you were already doing personally and then decided to make, to do it in business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's what I preach now, right? My message to the world is profit from your passions, profit from the problems you solve your own self, right? And with me, another thing to keep in mind is my quote unquote autopsy, right? So how I was raised. Like I said, I come out of the Jamaican culture, and when my mom first immigrated here from Jamaica, I was born here, and then I went to go live with my grandparents in Jamaica. I lived with them for 7 years, and there, my grandfather, he grew everything. Like when I tell you, he grew everything, okay? Like we had grapevines.
You probably got the plug on CMOS.
We had grapevines in the hood in Kingston, Jamaica. Like we had grapes that we were eating.
Wow.
And I'm just like, okay. So he grew everything. So even now in Embrace Pangaea, I do offer a program that teaches people how to grow gold. When I say gold, what am I talking about? I'm talking about growing your own food. I was raised to grow my own food. We have 27 different species of edible food in our backyard right now. I just ate some figs fresh off the tree.
Yeah.
So I believe in profiting from what you're good at. What problem have you solved yourself? What do people keep asking you questions about, right?
Yeah.
People kept on asking me, oh, well, because I would do backyard tours like, hey, y'all, I'm just in my backyard. And, oh, man, what's his name? The guy was like, oh, I'm in my garage.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know exactly.
Yes.
Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Ty Lopez one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm in my backyard, just going around different tours. And people are like, oh, I want to learn. I'm like, okay, you want to learn. So that's the problem, right? What's the problem? You want to learn how to grow. You don't know how to grow. How do I solve this? I teach you what I do to grow. That's the formula.
You know what that sounds like, Nick? Another solutions-based person.
Solutions-based person, yeah.
Nick hates this. So every person we speak with, I always make mention. I'm like, so it sounds like you're a solutions-based person.
And I'm like, you can't say that on every episode.
Is everybody a solution? I'm like, yeah.
But everybody really is, though. Like, entrepreneurs are solution-based people.
Nick,
if you have a functioning, good business, you have to solve a problem. Like, that's the whole point of it.
TC, my biggest question, especially for people who are in a niche like yours, to where you're creating products. Like, where do you learn like like I might butcher this because I don't know anything about creating, you know, your own like skincare products or things like that. Like, but where do you find like the ingredients? Like, how do you know what goes into something? Like when you're starting out and you like, say I want to create a skin cream. How do I figure out what goes into that? How do I measure the ingredients right? Where do I get the ingredients from? Like, how did you like figure all that out?
Okay, so step number one, you need to figure out, back to the solutions base.
Yeah.
Who is this for?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Number one, okay, you can have different skin products. It could be for someone that is aging. It could be someone, let's say a baby or infant, someone that has acne, eczema, psoriasis, or someone that just wants to have shimmer, right?
Yeah.
It may not solve any other problem other than I want to look good and shiny in my pictures. But you need to figure out, like, what problem are you solving? Why are you creating this? Who's going to buy this? So before you create anything, you need to understand the end goal, the end result. Then you can work backwards, right? So let's say, for instance, let's say our goddess butter. Okay, our goddess butter on embracepangea.com, it is primarily for nourishing your skin. If you want to make sure your skin is going to be healthy, like this is my glow right here. You asked, what's my lighting like? This is our Embrace Pangea Goddess Butter, okay? And the reason why I have the ingredients in there is because I focus on nutrition, right? I focus on making sure your skin, which is your largest elimination organ, is going to have the nutrients it needs, not only to protect itself from invading, pathogens or anything like that that shouldn't come into your bloodstream or shouldn't come into your body, but also making sure that the integrity, the cellular integrity, is going to be strong and fortified. Now, the question is, what ingredients support your skin's ability to protect the body?
Yeah.
Exactly. So now you need to go into research mode, and you need to go and figure out, for me, because I'm a researcher, I'm a scientist, I always go to the science.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I always go to the science. And I'm not saying that science is the end all be all, because all science seeks to do is to understand. Okay? Yep. What science seeks to do is to understand. So a lot of, let's say, for instance, aspirin. How did aspirin come to be? It came to be because science decided to understand what was going on in an indigenous population, and then to extract and isolate the active ingredient in this plant that this indigenous population was doing.
I'm in class fees. I got to raise my hand, Professor. I got a question.
No,
Professor Atkinson, I think Nick has a question.
Nick, yes, what's your question, Nick?
You give us some game. Keep going. You give us some game.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't want anyone to put science on a high pedestal, because science's aim is to understand, right? They always start with a question based on observation that's going on in the environment. All right. So that's where I would recommend anyone to start. It doesn't matter what products you're doing, physical, digital service. Number one, who is this solving a problem for? Number two, what do you need to put in your product? In the question was for skincare, right? Who is this solving a problem for? Someone that wants to get and maintain healthy, glowing skin. That's what our Goddess Butter is created for. And step number two, what ingredients will help you to get and maintain a healthy skin? For me, I'm going to go to the research, right? And then secondly, I'm going to go to the culture, right? I'm going to go to what have cultures around the world been using for their skin.
That makes sense, yeah.
You see? And then you need to go to sourcing. Where are you sourcing your ingredients from, right? What quality of ingredients are you going to be getting? There are different tiers. And all of that needs to be factored in to figuring out what your final sell price is, what your retail price is. And when you have your retail price, you better make sure that you can do a blowout sale with your retail price. Don't start with a retail price where you can't do a sale for Black Friday and people are looking for a sale and then you can't deliver on a sale.
How long did it take you to develop your very first product? Do you remember?
Okay. Very, very, very first product.
And what was it? Was it a skincare product?
No, our very
Clothing,
first
right?
product was a detox product, right? For
Okay.
Embrace Pangaea, our very first product was a detox product. And when it comes down to development, you have to, within your business, you have to figure out, well, what model are you going to take?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
going to take the R&D model, which is research and development, which
Mhm.
is very costly?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Like even for us, like we have a toothpaste, right? It's an herbal based toothpaste. It's a naturally whitening toothpaste, so it doesn't use chemicals or anything like that. It uses a physical whitener, and that is right now at a 3-year process. But
Wow.
why is it a 3-year process? We started in 2017 and we didn't get back on track until 2020. But why? Because of the cost of research and development. Back in 2020, I did not have business cash flow to invest in research and development at this level, right?
To
I
make the
had
flip
to
flip.
right to make that flip.
Make the
It's
flip
different
flip.
types of flips,
Yeah.
right? There are different types
Word.
of flips. Like how like what type of intellectual property will you be able to have with this flip? It's good to have a flip where you're going to benefit monetarily, financially, but can you make a flip that's going to make you profits and also going to add in the intellectual property and assets into your business, right? So that's the thing. But when it comes down to how long did it really take, for us, took several months. Okay. And the reason it took several months is because when you are sourcing, right, you have different suppliers. Okay. And when you have different suppliers, you always have to test out the quality of that supply, right? Is the quality of the supply going to be up to your standard? Is it going to be something that is going to represent the brand that you're building? Okay. And for us, our quality is everything. For us, our quality is everything. Right now, the culture of our Embrace Pangaea, our Pangaea fam, as we call it, is they understand that it's okay to wait for some products, right? Because they know the quality is going to be there.
Quality is going to be top notch. Yeah.
Right. So we frequently go into back orders and we make this announcement all on our website, all on our social media, because we want everyone to be aware that, hey, you're going to get your Embrace Pangaea products. However, this is what it's going to ship out, right? Especially during these times, right? Yeah. And that's another aspect of it too, but I guess we'll get into that later when it comes down to making your business now in this day and age. You have to make your business built to last global events that you didn't plan for, and even political events that you didn't plan for. Yeah. Because right now we're at a time where you can, as a business owner, you don't have the luxury of not being in tune with the current politics. Not just within your country, but also globally if you source your products globally. And I say that because as someone who I make my money in different industries online, right, with my businesses online, but they are primarily physical products. And with physical products, guess what? You deal with shipping. And currently our president has already enacted changes within our United States Postal Service, right, that has slowed down the delivery time of physical mail. And that not only impacts the election, which he's trying to do, right? Which is crazy, yeah. But it impacts us business owners, us quote unquote small business owners, which is 70% of what the mail processes. Right. USPS processes 70% of their mail comes from small business owners. Yeah. So if you are listening to this, if you are hearing me and you have a physical product business and you find yourself being out of tune with what's going on with the current events, please, 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 please keep your ear to the ground, or even tune into an online social media network that would just give you just like shots of what's going on, so that way you won't be blindsided.
Or tune into the TC Atkinson YouTube channel.
Oh yes, because I keep everyone updated.
You give everybody up to date. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I have to stay updated. There's a difference when you're teaching someone about business and you're not actually running your own business. Yeah. It's totally different. I just run my own businesses. I run my mom's business. I run my King's business, and I run my other businesses online. So I have to be in tune with what's going on. I need to know, do I need to alert my customers? Because if they don't get their package, if they don't see an updated tracking number, we're going to have higher customer service emails.
Yeah.
And that could be avoided if we properly communicated ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
that's
yes.
kind of like in sports, how like the best coaches they used to play the game themselves, or they're still they're Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
Right. And that makes a team really listen to them. So like on the journey for your holistic company, I think we mentioned in the beginning, you started with a $50 investment and got to $1 million in sales. Can you talk to us like what that moment was like when you crossed that $1 million mark in sales? Like how did that feel?
Everyone always asks me this question.
Yeah. How did that feel?
Everyone always asks me this question, and the truth is, I didn't really feel any way about it. Why? Because I'm always focused on, okay, today in business, we have a minimum quota. This week in business, we have a minimum quota. This month in business, we have a minimum quota. What is going on? What needs to be fixed? What products are we working on? So because I'm always in the present, right? I'm always in the present of my business. I am not really focused on that number, right? So I didn't realize we crossed the $1 million mark in sales and in revenue until somebody asked me, and I was just like, oh, wait a second, let me see, I don't know. And I went and I did my numbers. I was like, oh yeah, we did that a long time ago. Okay.
I like that.
No, but that's the truth of it, right? And that also goes down to money mindset. That also goes down to overcoming a poverty mindset, right? Because some people, they have this goal, like, because they see other people online making $1 million in a month, making $1 million in a week, making $1 million in 8 minutes, right? That they think, oh, the $1 million is the goal. $1 million is nothing. When you make $1 million, it's nothing. Why? You have to reinvest into your business, marketing, promotions, staff, software, okay? Packaging, materials. You have to reinvest in your business. So, and here's the other thing. Yeah, you make $1 million last month. Okay, but what about this month? What about next month? So you just want to be $1 million in 1 month and only 1 month?
A one-time millionaire.
Yeah, one hit wonder.
You want to be a one-hit wonder in the business world. So that's why for me, I can't say that I felt about it, because I'm always focused on, this is our minimum for today. Who do we need to talk to? Who do we need to partner with? So that way, one, we can get our products out there into more lives, to change more lives. That's number one. And then number two, we can get more products out there to change more lives. And then number three, we can get more products out there to change more lives, right? So
sounds like you want to change some lives. Is that safe to say?
You know, I'm just saying, I thought somebody said something about changing lives.
That's important, because even like in business or in your own personal life, it's important to know what the goal is, right? And to have your daily, your weekly, your monthly, your yearly goals. And the fact that you're pretty much achieving things because you're keeping yourself in the mindset of, okay, this is what I got to do today. This is what has to be done tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you always? Now, is that something you also got from your mom, or is that something you learned along the way?
Gosh, yes. Mom is never satisfied. Oh, she's always moving the goalposts. She's always moving the goalposts. Like, even, recently, right? So we started her business, and her business is regalroseclub.com, and she specializes in vegan handmade products, and everyone loves, when I say love, her acne bar. Ooh, her acne bar is the champion. But to mom, she's like, okay, but what about the next products? I'm like, oh, mom, let's focus on this one first. And mom is like, okay, yeah, but I want to have a collection. So now we expanded, and we're finalizing her collection. And guess what she said? Okay, yes, but what about the next one? We didn't even finish labeling on this collection. And even to follow up on that, like when someone says like, oh, well, what did it feel like to make a meal? I'm just like, you may think a meal is the ceiling. A meal may be the baseboards. Because as you
Money's
level up,
relative, right?
yeah, as you
Yeah.
level up, it's like, okay, well, let's say for instance, someone makes $100 today. They're like, oh my gosh, I never made $100 ever online and I made
Right.
it today. Can you make it tomorrow? Will that be your baseline, your standard? And how do you go from, okay, I'm working every day just to end with $100? How do you start your day? How do you wake up to $100?
Yeah.
Then how do you turn that into 1,000? Then how do you wake up to 10,000 a day and make that your new norm every single day? So, but when you're doing that, you realize if you keep yourself in this bottle, right, in this box of, oh, 1,000,000 is the cap, 1,000,000 is the goal, it's like a mil. I don't want to say this to sound a certain way, but it's like that's kind of lowering your bar, lowering your standard. Why do you want to be okay with making a mil if you can make 10 mil,
The sky.
100 mil?
Yeah.
Because
What was that quote in the Social Network? He's like, he's like, $1 million is cool. You know what's really
Yeah.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's really cool? $1 billion.
$1 billion. Yeah.
It's serious because as you cross new milestones, you realize that those first milestones that you were so excited to make, they're really nothing when you go to the next level. They're really nothing. As you market more, as you advertise more, you're like, wow, okay, next level, let's go. Let's see what we can really do. Let's see the impact we can really have. And another thing to add into that, I told my king the other day, and he really liked it. I said to him, I was like, because we frequently have conversations about business and everything. And I said to him, if you go into business without doing personal development or thinking that you can be successful in business without going through personal development, you have the whole entire business thing messed up. Yeah. You have it confused. Yep. You can't be successful without going through a personal place in your life. Like you have to. The only reason why Embrace Pangaea has at this point, we have over 40 products is because of what happened in 2016. Mm-hmm. I had massive bad press. My company was being slandered on the internet, right? Everyone on the major networks from here to Russia to Latin America, the UK, even the doctors, right? The doctors' platforms, they were literally talking badly about our products and making false allegations and statements about my company. But if we're not for that experience, and were not for me developing myself as a person, we wouldn't have expanded into 40 plus products. Why did I do that? Because I vowed from that day forward, I will never allow one product to run my business. Because if something were to happen to that one product, guess what? Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Would you say so that's an interesting point. Now, I'm assuming you were getting backlash based off like certain products you were using, or what exactly?
Absolutely. So in 2016, there was this, and also keep in mind, my main business is in the holistic and wellness space.
Right.
Yeah. And there has been a history throughout this country, and that's another thing too. Whatever industry you go into, do your research and due diligence on the history of that industry.
I feel like I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so because I'm in the health and wellness industry, Embrace Pangaea is in the health and wellness industry, I will always be antagonistic towards Western medicine. That's how they will view someone like me and the products that I offer. Why? Because there's a financial component to everything. If you have something that can take money out of another industry, you will always be deemed an antagonist to that industry. So in 2016, at the top part of 2016, there was this doctor from California, and it's not a personal thing, so I don't take it personal. I don't take it personal. Why? Because she did it to every single notable health and wellness business that focused on women's health. Okay. She came out against every single one of those companies. So it's not an isolated case. I'm not a special person in that situation. Okay. I just so happened to be on the radar. All right. And so what happened was there was a smear campaign against my company in which they were saying false statements about what my product did and what it could cause in women, which were absolutely false. They were unfounded. They were never verified. And from that, what happens too is there's a thing called a media cycle. There's a reason why when you turn on one station, you hear basically the same parroted information from another station.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when one news article came out, then it turned into a news cycle for about 2 weeks with the same reiterated information, nothing new getting added to the conversation about what this doctor said about my company. All right, and so that's what happened. And because of that, yes, sales were definitely affected. But that also taught me another thing about business. You must always show and prove. You must always show and prove. So that way, if you are in the same situation, people have to think twice about the information that they're hearing from a so-called reputable source. Because if they're hearing from these news outlets that a company is doing something negative, then when they go and do their research, they see, wait a second, how could you be doing something negative when you have thousands of 5-star reviews? You have thousands of video reviews.
Yeah.
No. No, would you say, like, it's kind of a two-part question, but would you say that that was probably the biggest obstacle you had with growing this company? And two, is that something you still battle with today in terms of just people, you know, attacking you or attacking the type of business that you do? Because, like you mentioned, it does kind of go against the, I guess, more traditional way of you know, curing different ailments.
Well, I wouldn't say it's traditional. The traditional thing is to use herbs and natural resources. The Western medicine. Western medicine, right? Western medicine. But no, I would not say that it is something that I'm still like fighting against. Do I have some people who don't know us that say, hey, I saw this article? Yes, I do. But then what do? I direct them to the thousands of reviews that we have. That's what I do. That's why I said from that experience, I had to double down on reviews and making sure that those reviews were housed in a place where everyone could go and see them, not just buried on social media, but housed on your online real estate, which is your websites, right? And the second question or second part to your question was that the biggest hurdle that my business faced? And I would have to definitely say, yes, one of the biggest hurdles that was publicized. However, the other biggest hurdle is just the back end of business, just tech. You know, like the other day, our website went down.
Website goes down, or
Yeah, that's tech. That's all tech. All tech.
Right.
Pretty stressful.
Yes.
If only there was a holistic tech out there that could.
Hey, listen, if someone's listening to this, hey, you just heard it, go out and fix it.
Yeah, if there's another solutions-based person out there listening.
Yes. It's money in the solutions.
There's money on there, and you can be on 99 Hustle podcast.
There you go. So TC, something that we always ask our guests also is, I mean, and we kind of just touched about it actually in our conversation about the destination and the journey and keep pushing forward. But right now, would you say about where you are in your business and where you are in, just your life right now, would you consider yourself happy?
That's a good question. That goes back to personal development. I would say, I'm going to preface my statement. Okay. And I'm going to preface it with this. If you go into business to bury what's going on with you through the sales that you're bringing in, you think that you can drown your woes in your business successes, you have another thing coming, right? Right now in my life, I have come to a place of happiness, right? And the reason I've come to that place in happiness is not primarily because of my business. My business allows me to live out the happiness that I want. Because the other day, King and I went to the beach and we were literally at the beach for 6 hours. Granted, we live right here by the beach, but prior to that, I hadn't gone to the beach here in forever.
Mm.
But I'm just like, okay, I do business online. As long as I have Wi-Fi, I can go to the beach. I can get things done. I can do what I need to do, and I'm okay. And not only that, but my business allows me to create a supportive environment for me to live out my happiness. Because each person is responsible for their own personal happiness.
Facts.
No one is responsible for that besides you. You owe it to yourself to be happy.
That's
But
real.
you have to create the environment for your happiness to really flourish. So a part of me growing all the stuff that I want to grow is because I love to grow stuff.
Yeah.
I love to grow stuff, but guess what? Growing stuff costs.
Mhm.
How am I paying for it? Right? I'm paying for it through the proceeds that I get from my Growing Gold program. I teach people how to grow their own food. I use that income to buy my supplies to grow more food. And then it's a loop, right? So
Flip,
what I'm saying
flip,
is to create that environment. I'm telling you, create that environment. So am I happy? I would say that I'm about 80% to 90%. Will I fully be there? Yes, but this is how. I have to hire more support. A lot of times people feel that they're overwhelmed. Like even one person I consulted with, she was $25,000 a month and she wanted to go to 100K. And she did one of my consultation sessions with me. And I asked her, I said, well, what's your process? Like, what's your business process? Like, how do you deliver? Like when someone comes in, they sign up for whatever you have, your candles, how do you go about fulfilling? She says, oh, she's manually doing it by herself. And I'm just like, see, you cannot do that. You have to hire. You cannot scale without hiring. You must leverage. You must get more help. You must have a team. You must have supportive people in your life that, yes, you hire. So for me, the reason I say I'm 80 to 90% is because I need to hire more, right? I need to hire more. I need to, for instance, someone who may be listening to this, they may not be to the mindset yet where having a housekeeper is not a luxury. It's not a luxury to have a housekeeper. It's not a luxury to have someone to prepare your meals. It's actually a necessity because when you have that time freed up, you have more time to do what you really love to do. If you're not worried about, oh, what am I going to eat? What is even required to do? You have to think about what you want to eat. You have to go and gather it. Yes, you can order it on Amazon. It can come to the front door, but Amazon doesn't put the food inside your in your refrigerator. It doesn't wash it, clean it, cut it up.
Turn the grill on.
It doesn't do any of it. It doesn't prepare it. It doesn't cook it for you. It doesn't plate it up for you. You have to do that. But I'm in a place in my life where if I take my time out to do that, right, then I'm taking time away from doing the other things that I love, the things that really make me feel fulfilled and go back to your question of making me happy. So that's why I say I'm 80 to 90% because I need to hire to get to the remaining 100%. Okay, I need to hire. Why? And here's another thing. If I don't get up from what I'm doing to go and prepare my meals, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to eat 1 time a day. Not because I'm fasting on purpose, but because I'm so locked into what I'm doing. I'm so committed to what I have going on that I rationalize with myself like, oh, I'll do it after I finish this one thing. That one thing takes 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right.
And by the time I get up, I'm just like, oh, I'm starving. What am I going to eat? And then I start eating anything that's available, which doesn't make me feel good. And now it's a negative loop, which is why hiring someone to prepare my meals is not a luxury for me in where I'm at in my life. It's a necessity. So sometimes when you look and you see, like say, a celebrity, when you look and you see an influencer, when you look and you see someone of so-called high social ranking, and they have this slew of people that they're hiring, it's not necessarily because they're trying to stunt for the gram or they're trying to live a certain life. It really is because it's needed.
Reclaiming
they can't perform for you and give you their best if they don't have a supportive staff of people that's going to cook, clean, wash, drive them. It's necessary.
Mm.
So that answers your question on happiness. I'm 80 to 90%. I need to hire to get to the
Almost
remaining.
there. Almost there. Yeah, I like that answer a lot. It's just. I mean, that's kind of what you said about just creating an environment that can like foster that, or pun intended, plant the seeds to grow.
Oh,
To
that was
like,
funny.
yeah, to like
It's true.
create that environment that can put yourself in a position to be happy. I like that a lot. I
So,
guess
so yeah, so TC, just to kind of follow up on that, and I mean, you've dropped a couple of these one-liners and phrases that I think would fit. But one thing we ask all of our guests to kind of wrap up this show is, what is your hustler mantra?
That's our General Boo manifesto. All day, every day. I'm telling you, if you come over to my personal page, right, on tc.atkinson, tc.atkinson on the gram, if you come over there and you tune into any of my free trainings that I do live stream, at the end of it, right, before Instagram cuts me off, because you know they're only 60 minutes right now, before Instagram cuts me off, I always give our General Boo manifesto. So if you want me to share that, it's not a one-liner, but it's real quick. It's real
But
quick, and
you
it'll
gotta,
get people right.
you gotta share it with us now. Go ahead.
Live your truth, TC.
Okay, all right. So, because I'm like, you know, I'm not for the hustle and I'm not for the solopreneur. I'm here to help you, to bring you on over to the business world. Bring you on over. Okay, so with our General Boo manifesto, I always remind people why I do what I do, right? I do it all because generational wealth is the goal, period. Generational wealth is the goal. And because generational wealth is the goal, today is the day to take action towards achieving your goals. Okay, abundance is your birthright because the universe only says yes. The truth is, the golden goose is me that lays the golden eggs. I am exceedingly rewarded for being a top problem solver in my field of expertise. Everything I touch is a success. My consistency, my resilience, my resourcefulness all work to achieve my goals. I am a General Boo. What's a General Boo? I am a generational wealth builder. Everything I do is all about and for generational wealth building. That is just the introduction. That's the shortened version of our General Boo manifesto. And that's why
that was incredible. You gotta clap it up for you. That was flames.
I take it as it's not your first time doing this.
I do it at the end of every one of the free live trainings I offer on tc.atkinson on the gram, on Instagram.
Don't worry, fans. We will have all of TC's links in the blog post.
Right up for the blog
hustles.com. Wow. I don't really know. And I feel like we should have wrapped up the episode with just your manifesto.
Just let that boom. Yeah.
That was incredible.
That's the manifesto. That's what I'm all about. So when someone comes and they're speaking to me, I'm just like, I'm talking because I'm building things for people that I won't even live to see. I'm building things to be here for generations that are yet unborn. Yeah. I'm not doing this to be a fly by night. I'm not doing this to have the business end because of a global pandemic. I'm doing this to be here for years and decades and centuries. So that's what I'm building things for. That's what I build institutions for.
Well, TC, we appreciated building with you today. I think you dropped a lot of gems for our audience and for Nick and I personally. I think there's a lot to learn in terms of just, and it doesn't necessarily need to be about, following your specific footsteps in terms of the products you're using and products you're selling, but more so the mindset, right? And having the mindset of wanting to, build wealth for
long-term thinking,
for long-term goals. And also, I like the point you mentioned earlier about, personal development, and that you can't escape anything that you're hiding by focusing on your business or, whatever
money,
it is. Money, working out. You can't. Trauma will follow you until you address it.
Everything that's good about your business and everything that's bad about your business is a reflection of who you are. So you cannot escape personal development in building a successful business.
Facts. You are who you are when you got here, right? So TC, once again, thank you.
Appreciate it, TC.
Yeah, thank you for being a wonderful guest. We really look forward to keeping in contact with you and seeing where you take things from here. When things are normal again, and definitely got to come down there to Hollywood and check out your garden of all the wonderful.
We'll definitely
things
check out the
on.
products as well. So we're gonna have a link to the Holistic website.
Absolutely.
On the blog write up as well, and
Absolutely.
we're definitely going to be customers as well. So.
That.
Aw, awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta get my skin right. I gotta get my skin right. You're glowing over here. I'm over here
Yeah, we
how do I
gotta
get the
lighting.
lighting right? What kind of camera she got?
Yes,
For
So-
sure.
absolutely. And that's the thing too. I'm sorry to keep on keeping on, right? But there's so many lessons here. You just like you said, oh, her skin looks like that and I want my skin to look like that. So what does that mean? You have to be a product of the product. Whatever you're selling someone, you better make sure that you are a representation of the best reality you can get from whatever you're offering someone.
Gotta be your biggest fan.
A product of the product is crazy. I
You need
really
to be the
like
first
that.
testimonial. You are
Yeah.
the first reviewer.
Facts.
Tony Robbins. That's getting me pumped up. TC, it's been a pleasure.
TC, it's been a pleasure.
so
Once
much.
again, thank you for being a wonderful guest on the show, and we'll definitely keep in contact with you and look forward to seeing what you do next.
Awesome. I would love to come back. This has been fun. I love talking with you guys.
For sure.
We love having you, and we'll definitely keep in contact and bring you back on the show, and we'll see what other ailments you're fixing for the world.
Awesome. Thank you all so very much. I wish you all nothing less than peace, love, and profitable sales. And until next time, see you.
See you guys.